Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today we are asking the question, is Gamefound owned by Awaken Realms? Lipstickpaddy knows some information, so Lipstickpaddy, please take it away. Well, here we are, and today we are definitely going to be looking at this interesting thing that's going on. I'm going to posit to you that Gamefound is actually owned by Awaken Realms, and I'm going to show you just in a minute why I think that. This is a work of genius, isn't it? Because Kickstarter taking 10% of all these companies here that we see on Gamefound. Kickstarter have took 10% of the money, including, you saw the Awaken Realms Nemesis. So if a game makes 10 million on Kickstarter, Kickstarter gets $1 million, and what they've been doing to the platform? Nothing. It's just had very little updates, and is Gamefound going to take the crown? Well, I'm going to posit also that yes it is. I'm going to show you evidence here today also, and similar to Steam, which is owned by Valve in the video game industry, they created their own PC platform where games would go to it, and it is now the go-to platform getting games on PC, owned by Valve, known as Steam. The similar thing is happening here. Gamefound is owned by Awaken Realms, but this is a game agnostic site, and they are promoting for other games to come on Gamefound and bypass Kickstarter. Now, as we go down this page, as you come to, one of the things you'll notice is if you hover over the Facebook page, it's the Gamefound business. If I go to the Twitter page, it goes to the Awaken Realms Twitter page. Why would Gamefound not have their Twitter page here? Well, that is because Gamefound is Awaken Realms. The Facebook page is Awaken Realms. The Instagram is Awaken Realms. They are Awaken Realms. This is Awaken Realms Pledge Manager. If you've pledged for any of their games on Kickstarter, you'll notice that this Gamefound was the chosen platform for the Pledge Manager. And if we go to the blog here, we'll notice something interesting. So, Gamefound 4.18 is live. Now, unlike Kickstarter, these peeps have been updating this as much as possible, and hopefully this is something that they follow. What Valve did with Steam is constant update to the site from what users want. Now, this is the big news, is crowdfunding on Gamefound starting with ISS Vanguard. People have been asking about ISS Vanguard. Why is it not going on Kickstarter? Well, they're going on their own Kickstarter page of Gamefound. Let's have a look at this news, because it will give us more into why other companies might come here. So this is really big news for you. It really is if you're a Kickstarter fan. And the first crowdfunding campaign is the eagerly awaited monster game, ISS Vanguard, which is basically Star Trek in a box. We'll have a little look at that as we go through this, but some of the things we'll notice here, this has been in development for 4 years. It's been quite hard to get up to Kickstarter, otherwise they would have used it earlier. And basically the Pledge Manager service has been used for free, so people have been coming here for free to test it out. What's interesting is when you read this, is that now it says that there's a big step forward coming, and we've been working on this for quite some time, and it's a dedicated board game crowdfunding platform. Now, this is pretty good because Kickstarter is full of RPGs, it's full of dice, things like this. Now, if it's board game, are they going to put RPGs and dice and accessories in here? I really hope not, but I guess if they're taking a fee, they'll bring them in because it just gets so crowded and hard to like look down lists of games and things like that. But anyway, that's much my view. They're not going to copy other crowdfunding services. So what they're doing is a pre-launch page, which we'll see, and we'll notice on the pre-launch page some of the updates. But as we go down here, we'll see some of the stuff they're doing on a live project, which we can't see yet. You can sort by topics with a hashtag search. You can like comments and they will shoot up to be most popular. This could be interesting when you've got 10,000 views, 10,000 comments, and impossible to go through them all. And you can put your avatar here, which is nice also. You get different badges as well, so there's like a collection thing going on here. And something that Kickstarter doesn't do is you can edit your text if you make a mistake, or you just want to change something or whatever, add something. It says that there's going to be a feature for stretch goals where you see the percentage, and as soon as this unlocks, you're going to get the feed. It'll unlock this immediately. Probably going to give you some news on this when it unlocks, so you don't have to wait for the team. This is quite nice. Just helping you mainly with what you've done, and you know, potentially you can see other stretch goals here, and we'll really see this with ISS Vanguard, how it works with a fully live project. This is just an example. And when you select your pledge level for the game, you can also add extra add-ons to the pledge just by using these buttons, which makes it a lot easier. Instead of adding it in the pledge manager or adding it on the campaign, you can do it just using buttons therein. And yeah, if you've used Gamefound before, you get to see what your pledge includes. This is nice. And they've been updating the shipping and stuff like that to make it a little bit easier and all that good stuff. They'll be doing this with their pledge manager anyway, so I'd imagine when the Kickstarter on Gamefound funds, it will go straight to the pledge manager as it's on the same site. It does say it's going to have advanced shipping tables. This is nice as well. And a lot of this stuff is mainly for the companies that are coming on here. So board game companies that are putting their board games on, they're going to see these kind of analytics, which should go beyond what Kickstarter's giving you. And all that good stuff. So it's looking very cool. And imagine just because you're saving 10%, then all is good. Now, there's no prices that they're talking about here, so maybe they are just bringing in companies. I mean, all they need to do is offer less than 10% to get your game on here, and I'm sure Awaken Realms, when they launch ISS Vanguard, there's going to be a lot of people here. So yeah, they're basically testing it with their biggest game. And it's in the closed access, as they say, but they reckon that in 5 months, so it's not going to take over Kickstarter yet, but in 2021 it's going to be up there with it. So this is still early. Now, Vanguard, let's have a look at Vanguard. It's a draft, it's not final. Put your opinion, and it doesn't accept pledges, of course. Now you can click here to be notified. You'll notice here straight off the bat though that it scales to your monitor. Kickstarter still thinks you've got a 720p screen. It's painful. And so you do get like full width here. You can each company here can actually do the background here, so it's going to be nice. I imagine this is going to be a video to be plugged in here. It's interesting how they go in sticking with the green of Kickstarter, isn't it? Yes. Now this bit here is more about the comments on what you're seeing. So if you want to ask for stuff, you can see here, how long will the game be? Are the chapters like Tainted Grail? Is it going to be co-op or more solo like Tainted Grail? So you can ask questions here early on. This might be pushed into an FAQ later. You can upvote this stuff, so yeah, I upvote that one. Yeah, you can put your avatar in here. We've got the Kickstarter logo. This is all good. And then you're going to come back down here to the story. Notice it's got a couple of hashtags: exploration, sci-fi, adventure. And this project story looks like this can be customized by the company. So in that Kickstarter quick links, which are all useless, you know, if you had a button here for stretch goals or add-ons, if you knew something was new here, you could just quick link, go down to it. This is really good. And you've got high res images also. I wish they kind of made this a bit bigger, but anyway, this is just the pilot going forward. I think everyone's got a 1080p screen, but I wish it scaled a little bit. Anyway, like these really do speed links. They blast you through it. Now, this is pretty cool. If you've not been on Gamefound, or if you are registered on Gamefound before ISS Vanguard starts, you get $5 credit. This is good. So most people are going to have this already waiting for them when they go. We've got click links here that go off to read the comic book. This is well worth a look at, and tells you a little bit about the game. It's written by Christoph, the lead writer of Tainted Grail, so he's back in an epic space opera. It says hard choices, unimaginable discoveries, and unlikely allies. They've got a new artist on board too, so it should look like a game that Awaken Realms have not done before, as they're using new artist, and yeah, you're going to be going down on planets, getting technology. There's technology trees and research paths you're going on. You can modify your ship, your landing craft. You're going to be studying different cultures. You get to choose from your crew members which one you'll take down on the planet, and all this good stuff. It has this interesting book design. You can see these pages are relevant to the spaces on the ship. So you're in the medical station here. If you turn the binder over, you could be in the kitchen. I don't know what areas of the ship's going to have. This is fairly cool. And you've got kind of your crew here. So these are kind of your doctors that are working in your medical station. You're kind of collecting these, and you might get an alien on board to slot in here who's a good doctor. So this is nice how the ship's going to have its own little quarters that you turn through here. This is very cool, and it talks about when you come to a planet, you're going to have tiles, so it's going to make up like a board when you go down. We've not got any evidence of that other than text here, but definitely going to be worth coming here when it launches. I'll be doing a WTF on this when it does, but there we go. All right. This is interesting though, because it is collecting and saving your game as you go, isn't it? I mean, when you pull this back out, it's going to have all your crew that you've hired over your play sessions in the past, so it's very nice. Got some great examples here of minis. You're going to have an engineering section, so potentially engine room. They look pretty meaty, these engineers, don't they? And he's got a bigger gun than the security. I do love the minis though. I love the bases, how they've been designed also. And you've got the science section. I like the fact that this guy's looking at some herbs. I don't know what this lady's doing here. But the recon section, this is really good. So you're finding stuff is their job, and you've got security, which is protecting the internal stability of the ship. So yeah, this guy's got like a bot here, and I love the dynamic poses that they've got. Awaken Realms are just knocking it out of the park as normal. I guess I'm not happy about these cards. They could have a background like of them working in the ship, working on a planet, the planet you got them from. This would be pretty cool, just to give you some in-fiction art behind them. I do call this out as being lazy, but it is early. And you can put this as a note up above. I don't like the character things, blah, blah, blah. Just post it up there. And if people agree with me, they can upvote it. Now, these characters that you're getting, though, they can be upgraded. It says you can choose a novice and get more experience. Or do you want to risk an experienced crew member? Basically, they get a bigger deck the more experience they have. And sometimes they'll come back injured and there's a recovery time. So you're going to have to draft in different people. But you can risk it. You can push them back into action with injuries, it says here. So choices are going to be hard. This looks like a separate book. This one's navigating through space in this book. You might turn the page and it's a planet, and then you go down on the planet. So this is going to be the space exploration in another storybook. Now it says planets you land on will be represented by a book. Part procedurally generated planetary boards that offer great balance of story experience and replayability. So you open the page and there's a big planet and you go down on it, and then you get the tiles or the boards, as it says, planetary boards. We need to see this. I'd love to see it. It says once you know your destination, choose your spacecraft. So there's a choice of different ships, it sounds like. Your crew, of course, their equipment, and so it's a little bit strategic going down on the mission. It's very, very good. You've got limited space on these as well, and you might need to sacrifice cargo for people or vice versa. Now it says when you've landed, there's lots of stuff you'll be doing. There's going to be lots of dice chucking and all this good stuff. There's no example of that. Like I said, we're going to have to wait for the actual page. But yeah, nice dice, vibrance, and good double yippee, 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 yippee. Indented boards, I'll say that. My brain. Does say it's going to be hard though, and you're going to be surprised by what you find. Potentially tombs full of artifacts, strange ecosystems, strange phenomena, conscious life forms. So this is going to be an amazing game for exploring. Mission log. Some events that happen on the planet will be conveyed in a unique way. Research notes, field reports, even transcripts of dialogue between the crew members and the Vanguard's bridge. Ooh. I do like the fact that it's bringing in some of the characters into the narration. This is something we saw with Midara, where the story is written with main characters. This is going to be good. It's going to take you on an amazing adventure with branching stories to keep your group on the edge of the seat. It's a fully co-op experience. And all that good stuff. So we're right at the end here. And it's looking fabulous. So yeah, come and have a look at this. Make your comments in here. Change your avatar up in your settings. Get your picture in here. And get ready to rock and roll. Get your $5 ready to rock and all that good stuff. And I'm telling you now, Kickstarter's in trouble. Because if ISS Vanguard is the pilot for the live Kickstarter, once everything's working, more companies are going to come here if they save money. And just remember, Kickstarter, you've had millions of fees from Awaken Realms and just been sitting on your hands. So you can't blame companies spending years to develop something to challenge you. And this is going to be the big challenge. So there we go. Hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up to help the channel. Make any comments you wish. And yeah, this has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.